Hi everyone, welcome back to Curriculum Mapping with G Suite. Richard here with a tutorial on programmatically establishing data validation in your Google Sheet. So I'm going to first show you how this works and then connect it back to curriculum mapping and some possible use cases for this. So I have here a Google Sheet, and connected to that Google Sheet is an app script that is designed to programmatically build data validation into our Google Sheet on form submission. And I also have a very basic Google form to test this. So the way this works is I've pre-added a status column into my Google form. And when I submit the form, it will load the data validation into column C just like this. And by default, every new row of data will receive sort of the scheduled data validation value. So let's go back to the form here. I'm going to go ahead and just submit. So I come back to the Google Sheet. We can see here that the new data has been submitted and it's been set to be scheduled. So as this piece of data moves along a track, I can actually say it's in process and now that it's ready. So that's essentially how it works. And the app script that's connected to it looks like this. So all we need to do to make this work successfully is you need to first be able to establish the last row that has data in the Google Sheet. And we're going to use column A because that is the timestamp column. So when we look at it, when we submit a form, so if we submit one now, the last row of data will actually end up being 10, right? Because this will fill out with the timestamp, and then we'll have something here in column B as well. So the number 10 will be stored when we submit the next one. Now, the next piece, we need to find the last row of data in our status column, because this will let us know how many more columns we need to add that data validation to. So if we submit it here, we say we have 10 now. The last row of the status column at that point is 9. So if we look ahead in our code, you're going to see this last row minus last row status, right? So this is 10 minus 9, essentially saying we need to add one more row of data validation. And then we're going to begin with the last row of data. So essentially saying that beginning in row 10, we need to add one more data validation. So that's how it just adds one at a time, by establishing that range right here. And then the way the rule is built for data validation is just like this. So you could have any value in here that you want, but this is essentially you build a rule first in your code, and then you set the data validation into your sheet in that range, referencing that rule. So here's the rule that we built right there, and this is where we apply it. So that's kind of how the code works. So what I'll do is in the community, I'll post this Google Sheet so you can kind of look at it and play around with it on your own. And I'll even post a link to the form itself so you can submit data into my example and kind of watch how that works. So the way that I think this could connect back to curriculum mapping is when you're doing curriculum reviews. So say you want to explore all units that are a part of grade 5, you could have a script that lists all those units with a status column that is saying like started, completed, and whatnot. You could establish whatever it is that you want to be how you want to track that review process of those units, but it would be a tool that an administrator could use to sort of track that they've reviewed each specific unit. So that's one idea, but The data validation has many use cases and other applications that you may be looking forward to develop. So I just wanted to share this with you, and thanks for watching. Bye.